This is Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your guide to the night sky every week. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, thanks so much for joining. I hope you're doing well. I love to hear where you're watching from, wherever that may be. I'd love to know. Let's see who is out there right now. Can we see? Let's see. Hello to everybody. Hello to those that are on YouTube. We're looking to see if we can connect to Facebook as well. There we are. We're on Facebook now too. Yay! All right. Welcome everyone to another episode of The Night Sky this week. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, hopefully broadcasting on all the different channels now. Please share where you're watching from. I'd love to hear just to see where everyone is. And it's a Monday, April 18th. And you know what the big news is, folks? Sunspots. The sun activity is going crazy here. Let me go right away to what I've seen on my favorite place, of course, is spaceweather.com. Here it is. Check this out. You can see right here an image today, Monday, April 18th, of what the sun surface looks like. You see two little spots here and here, but then there's this cluster of large spots right over here on the side that's rotating into view towards the Earth. Now, this is really interesting because as this rotates, this is where we expect some interesting things to come and pop into view over the next little while. Mainly, we're talking about, of course, the idea of auroras, solar flares causing this radio disruptions to navigation systems here on Earth. That can happen from the solar flare activity. But look at it up close. This is a really evident sunspot group that through solar filtered glasses are even visible. So that's something to keep in mind. And there's some really amazing pictures on how large this is. Check this out. I'm going to show you this picture taken from an amateur astronomer, Tosi Philippe from France on the 18th. That's today. Here is a superimposed image of the Earth to show you the idea of how big these sunspots are. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Look, this is the group of sunspots that we're talking about right there. 1, 2, 3. You can see that group. And look, the Earth in comparison. Look how large these sunspots. They're bigger than our own planet. It's really incredible to think that you've got these kind of features on our home star. Really incredible stuff. And this is just something that is worth keeping an eye open. I'm going to actually try and see if I can do live images of the sun later today. I'm going to be setting up my equipment in my backyard, and I'm going to see if I can live stream it to you folks so you can get a sneak peek. So just stay tuned to a notification from my channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and see if I can come on live and show you these sunspots that I just showed you from NASA's space satellite and see what it would look through a small backyard telescope. How's that sound? I think it'll be fun. I'm seeing folks from Germany, from Italy, England joining us, Turkey, Serbia, Charlotte, and Cloudy Charlotte here says Dave. And where else? That's it. Yeah, we've got those folks over, and I'm in Montreal, Canada, and it's sunny, so it's fantastic. So let's see if we can get going on the planetarium software. There we are. This is the sky at sunset towards the southwest on Monday. Today is the 18th. And the lone planet that is visible now at sunset is, and this is a tricky one, is Mercury. Now, Mercury is going to be getting higher and higher in the sky over the coming days and weeks, and this will become a little bit easier to see. You could give it a try at sunset. Let's say by an hour after sunset, it's too late. So the window to see it is within about a half hour after your local sunset here. So I'm going to be just showing you how close you can get here. Let me just zoom in here, and you'll see what I mean. There. So how high in the sky are we talking about? Well, if we do a measurement from where Mercury is to the horizon, let's see here. No, not quite. Hold on. From Mercury, let's see if I can get that. There, that's Mercury. I've selected it, and now I'm going to measure that to the horizon. And it's like maybe 8, 10 degrees from the horizon. So what does that mean in terms of measurements? This is where it's interesting, because when you're talking about measurements, like your fist is approximately 10 degrees wide in the sky, arc degrees in the sky. So by holding it up like that, putting it like that, the height of your fist is about 10 degrees. So you put the bottom of your fist towards the horizon, and you kind of look, you know where to look for Mercury about a half hour after your local sunset is at the top of your wrist, right? So at arm's length, we're talking about arm's length. That's what you want to do. And that's where Mercury will be after sunset. So that is something that you can definitely check out after sunset this week. And as the sky gets darker, let's make it darker, you'll see that the moon is out of the early morning sky. We had the full moon on Friday last week. It was the pink full moon. Let me take off some of these deep sky objects there and get some of the stars to pop in like that. And there you can see the night sky really nicely. And one of the things that you should take a look at, and if you're learning about the night sky, this is a fantastic way to learn. Right now, springtime in the northern hemisphere, fall, autumn in the southern hemisphere, really nice asterism, a group of stars that makes a very familiar formation this time of the year, is called the spring triangle. Spring for, of course, northern hemisphere spring. And it's a really neat formation. It takes different forms depending on what guidebook you're reading. But let's say the 3 brightest stars in the eastern, southeastern part of your sky is what I'm talking about. So you would take like Regulus. Let me just put the names of the stars on here, see if they'll show up, name density there. So what we would look at is Regulus. Okay, Regulus is in the lead star in Leo. Then you have Arcturus, which is the lead star in the constellation Bootes, and then the lead star in the constellation Virgo. And it makes this giant triangular asterism called what we call spring triangle. An alternative version is using this star, the tail star in the Leo constellation, called Denebola. It's also visible to the naked eye, but not quite as bright. And this is also makes this beautiful triangular formation. And so you're learning 3 different constellations this way: Leo, Virgo, and Bootes here very easily this time of the year. And it's a great guidepost for finding yourself in the night sky. And remember that this is an area of the sky that is filled with deep sky objects. Now, if I turn this on and I put the limit a lot, look what it's filling up. Do you see all of these little ellipses, elliptical circles? Do you see them all over? These are galaxies. Each and every one of them are visible. This is up until magnitude 11, which is like a small telescope limit of visibility in a dark sky. But these are the brightest of what we call the Virgo cluster of galaxies. Now, the Virgo cluster is a amalgamation of galaxies in our part of the universe that we belong to. We're on the edge of what we call the Virgo galactic cluster. And it's just, tens of thousands of galaxies huddled together in one part of the universe, in our part. And we're a member of that. And we see all these neighboring galaxies. Many of them are 30 to 60 million light years away, these galaxies. And it's a great place to just scan with a small backyard telescope. And where you're looking, again, just, it's really easy to see. It's within this 3-star triangle region is where all of these galaxies are. It's the window out to the universe. So I highly recommend it. This week is a fantastic week to go outside and go galaxy hunting. Even if you don't identify the individual galaxies at this point in the game, the idea is to see those faint fuzzies and just be able to cruise around and spot those little tiny fuzz balls that are all scattered in this part of the sky. You're looking out of our Milky Way galaxy into the grand universe and seeing other islands of stars. It's really quite incredible to witness. So we've got Wala from Jordan saying it's dusty here tonight, hoping for clear skies in the next days. Definitely. Suna says it's my time to weekly time travel. So let's look at the sky. Exactly. And Tess says hi from Sweden. Wonderful. Tracy says it's terribly overcast here in Illinois. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it does get better for you. It always does, you know. If we get a run of bad days after that, maybe there's some clear skies. I'm always hoping. Here in Montreal, where I am, I get about 60% of cloudy skies. It's yucky, but it is what it is, and I take my opportunities where I get them. That's basically it. And so that is the lay of the land in the early evening. But I want you to see, if we kind of move forward in the hours, closer to midnight. This is around 11 o'clock. And look, if I show you near the southeastern horizon, there's our friend, the moon. Of course, the glare of the moon is very bright. So, you know, to see these dark, deep sky objects that I've mentioned, you need darker sky. So the moon is out of the way in the early evening. So around 11 o'clock to midnight, the moon is starting to rise above the horizon, and the glare kind of takes away from the deep sky objects. And it's a waxing gibbous moon right now. Waning gibbous moon. We had a full moon on Friday, so it's a waning gibbous moon. It's heading towards becoming a quarter moon, and then a crescent, and then new moon by the end of the month. April 30th is when that will happen, the new moon. So you see the moon rising right now. If you do stay up late at night, or you're a super early bird, you will see the moon in the east-southeast in the early morning hours, and the moon will be right next to the orange star Antares. And Antares marks the eye of the scorpion, or the heart of the scorpion in some mythology. And there's the moon in the claws, held within the claws of Scorpius. So this is a really nice sight. Again, southern skies, the Milky Way, our home galaxy, cuts right through Scorpius. You could see through its tail. These stars are very visible, very bright, particularly Antares. And what's neat about Antares is it is 550 light years away, and it's one of the brightest stars. It's a red giant, and it'll be posing next to the waning gibbous moon. And this is tonight, Monday, April 18th, into Tuesday early morning hours. So that's what's in store. But if we kind of zip into the early morning, there you go. If you do wake up on Tuesday morning, this is what will greet you, looking towards the southwest. As the moon is setting in the southwest, you will see an orange star next to it. That, in fact, is the star Antares. So a beautiful pose of these two bright celestial objects together in the southwest skies Tuesday morning at dawn or before dawn. That's where you'll see it, in the overnight hours as well. So if we just go back into the evening, let's go back around midnight there. The moon, if we switch over to this is Tuesday, or I should say Wednesday morning. So just after midnight on Wednesday morning, 1 o'clock, this is what you'll see. The moon will have jumped onto the other side of Antares, the bright star, and then the moon will slowly drift away, and we can go closer. So this is in the overnight hours, the early morning hours. If you are up, you will see that the moon, you can see there, I'm just going right before twilight, the morning twilight comes in. It's still dark skies. The moon will be embedded within the constellation Sagittarius. Sagittarius. And you'll see it, you'll know that it's near because it's a still waxing. It'll be next to this group of stars that forms this giant teapot configuration. So let me see if I can show that configuration right there in orange. Can you see that there? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There's the lid of the teapot. I'm showing you with my cursor. There's the handle of the teapot, and the spout is on here on the right-hand side. And what's interesting is you'll see this glow, this misty glow of the Milky Way. It's almost as if steam is coming out of the spout of this giant celestial teapot. Now, the moon is going to be right there, so I wouldn't expect to really see the glow of the Milky Way right now. This is, again, Wednesday, or I should say Thursday morning, late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. We can go forward in Thursday morning at dawn. There you go. And what you'll see also, and this is why I'm bringing this up, it's a lead into an amazing early morning activity as well, observing event of showing the moon approaching the lineup. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's gorgeous. You get to see Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Saturn in a beautiful lineup in the southeastern skies every morning, and the moon is going to be joining them. This is the view on Thursday this week. Then on, whoops, let me just move that back, and I'm going to move that to Friday, Saturday, and by Sunday, look at that, the moon will be paired up with Saturn, and by next week, Monday, the 25th of April, we will have the moon sandwiched between Mars and Saturn, creating this beautiful triangular formation. And then later on the week, the moon will next week will join Jupiter and Venus. Now, that'll look fantastic. And in fact, this is going to be a great event. Venus, Jupiter, and the moon next week, the 26th. Don't miss it. This is what, there's actually a beautiful, this conjunction is the basis of a beautiful photo campaign that's being run by the outfit Astronomers Without Borders. Those of you that have been with me for a while know that I'm part of this great international nonprofit that uses astronomy to do good in the world. Basically, the motto is one people, one sky. And it's Global Astronomy Month now. I've been hosting a lot of events over at Astronomers Without Borders channel, Facebook and YouTube channel. I've posted a few of those things here. For those of you, my friends that are interested, can join in. But they have this Beauty Without Borders photo campaign, taking your smartphone basically and snapping a picture of this. And I'd love for you guys to participate. I'll put a link in the comment section below on where to go on the campaign page and with the instructions of how to upload your photo, how to take your photo with your smartphone of this on the morning of April 26th. My friend, Dr. Cyan Proctor, SpaceX astronaut, will be guiding us on this as well for AWB. So stay tuned to a lot of information. I'll post all of that on my channels so you guys can participate. But this is a beautiful knockout event. Do participate because it's just gorgeous. Now, there is one more thing that I wanted to mention, and it's one of my favorite stuff. I'm going to put it back to now and put it the hours a little bit later after sunset this week, later this week, Thursday night into Friday. Let me see if I can get this working. Is a meteor shower, and it's called the Lyrids. Its origin parent is a comet called Thatcher that basically sheds material off of this comet that swings around the sun regularly, and what it does is it leaves behind a cloud of material, and these particles hit the atmosphere of the Earth at incredible speeds, and they cause a meteor shower. Now, the Lyrids is a modest meteor shower. It's annual, very predictable. Every year around the night of April 21st into the morning hours of April 22nd, that's Thursday night into Friday morning this week, is the peak of the Lyrid meteor shower. Now, what I want you to see right off the bat is there's the moon, right? Now, the moon is there. This is for Monday today, but let's just move this to Thursday, and you'll see where the moon is in the relation. Now, the moon will only rise after midnight or 1 a.m. approximately on Thursday and Friday. Here you can see where the moon is, right there. That's by early morning hours. The peak time to see it is before the moon rises. That's my suggestion, because once the moon rises, it'll block out a lot of the fainter meteors. You can see in this animation the meteors kind of uh, all streaming out from one part of the sky. And that part of the sky is occupied by this very bright star. See that? That's Vega. It's one of the brightest stars in the sky this time of the year and throughout the northern summer season and into the fall, in fact. It'll dominate the heavens for many, many months. And it's just now really rising late at night this time of the year in the spring, northern spring. What's interesting, it's in a very small little compact constellation called Lyra, the harp. And that's the namesake for the Lyrid meteor shower. That's where it gets its name. So the Lyrid meteor shower appears to be basically coming out from this constellation, Lyra. And you can see in this animation, see them all streaming out? That's where they appear to be coming out from, this part of the sky. And how many? You can expect anywhere from 10 to 20 shooting stars per hour. No telescope or binoculars, just the naked eye. And look towards the east, but before the moon rises. So this would be too late. You see, this is like 3 in the morning. Normally, I would say after midnight, it's the best show. But because the moon rises around midnight on Thursday and Friday, I would say wait, don't wait, go out in before midnight. So as soon as darkness falls, late at night, around 10, 11 o'clock, you'll get really good showing. So this is pretty much what it'll look like around midnight local time. The moon will still be below the horizon, and you'll be able to see a lot of meteors streaking across the sky. You don't need a telescope or binoculars. Why? Because, of course, these streaks of light rush across the sky from one end to the other sometimes, and your eyes are best adapted. They're perfect wide-angle lenses to see all those shooting stars and make a lot of wishes. So hopefully you'll get clear skies. Best time, Thursday night. Yeah, Friday morning pre-dawn hours are good, but because the moon is going to be there, it's going to interfere with the light. If you have to go out after the moon climbs above your local horizon, I would suggest turn your back to the moon. That's really bad. And just make sure your eye vision stays dark adapted. So the moon is just so bright, it'll wash out the fainter meteors. And the Lyrids, by the way, are known to produce outbursts some years. We can't predict them. We don't know when they happen. Back in the 1980s, there was one night for 1 hour, there was up to 250 shooting stars in 1 hour from the Lyrids. Unexpected. So these outbursts may happen. We don't know. Unlikely they will. But the only way to know for sure is to go out and see them for yourself. So I highly recommend that, going out and watching the Lyrid meteor shower this Thursday night into Friday morning. Perfectly timed for Earth Day this week. So what a wonderful way to celebrate Earth Day than just to watch beautiful celestial fireworks, right? So with that, thank you so much for joining me again this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like these shows, please give it a thumbs up and share it, and also subscribe to my channel. It means a lot for me to continue giving these free shows every week, live streamed on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and I'll be doing other platforms as well coming soon, doing more live streams. I'll be going out with my telescope today to see the sun, and I'm inviting you to join me in some experiment that I'm doing with some of my gadgets, and we can explore to see if we can watch those sunspots. Can we spot those sunspots that I showed you earlier on in this episode? So I'm hoping you can join me. Every week I'm here on Monday. And please share with me your thoughts on what you're doing, what kind of stargazing you've been up to lately. And of course, don't forget, if you are really interested in astronomy and exploring the hobby even further, I invite you to check out my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's published by National Geographic. I've jam-packed this little guidebook, pocket guidebook, with as many of my experiences over the last over 4 decades that I've been doing this since I was a kid, learning from the best of the best amateurs throughout the years. I've picked up so many interesting tidbits and ideas of how to choose a telescope, binoculars, and it covers like the best things you can see in the night sky. And it's as comprehensive in a small guidebook as you can get. And it's pretty much the only thing you would need to get started with the night sky. And it's available everywhere that books are sold, including Amazon. So I do invite you to check it out. So with that, I hope you enjoyed that time with me, and I'll hope to see you on my live stream in the next few hours. Stay tuned for that. And until the next video, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.